name is Carter. Right now, the time is September 2020. We've been staying in our houses for almost half a year. That means we cannot go outside and play with other friends, or we cannot invite them to come either. But I realized we can invite other birds to come. I made a bird feeding station that I can see through my bedroom window, and a lot of birds come every morning, and they're really fun to watch. I realized that all the birds are really different. Some have different colors, some eat differently, some like different foods. So they're all different, and when you bird feed, it's really exciting and good to know what you're watching, so it's really fun to identify each bird and watch them because they're all very colorful and unique. I also want to attract some bigger birds like the turkeys. We have a lot of them in our area, but I've never actually got the chance to get them into our yard. And another one is the squirrel. I didn't know that they would actually come, but they came because they also eat what birds eat, and they're actually really fun to watch too. This is a bird feeding table. A lot of the sparrows like to sit on it. I put a lot of seeds on it. This is a tray feeder. I put some seeds in it and some mealworms. Mealworms, you think, are kind of weird, but chickadees actually really like them because they're high in protein, and chickadees stay in this area all year round, unlike most birds which leave during the winter when it's cold. So they need a lot of warmth during the cold times, and mealworms have a high source of protein for them. This is a bird bath. Has a bowl. You can take it out to refill it. I clean it once in a while, and you should. This is a suet cage. I bought this suet. They don't seem to like it a lot. I feel like they like the one I made, which is this. I just made this peanut butter and seed mixture. There's a type of bird food that is really easy to make at home. I'm trying to make bird suet. Classical bird suet is made of meat, fat, and bird seeds mixed, but I don't really have fat, so a great substitute is peanut butter. It has a same nutritional value and it will work just fine. I put these little suet balls that I also made with the same mixture, but I just made them into a different shape and put these in. A lot of birds seem to like it. This is a feeder that I made out of a tomato bottle. It has 4 feeding ports, and it is filled with Niger. Niger is a tiny black seed that goldfinches love them. They ate a lot of it, and they seem to really like it. So if you want to attract goldfinches, then you should use Niger. And this is a peanut feeder. As I said before, they don't really not a lot of birds like to eat peanuts in the shells, but a lot do like to eat with them out of the shell, like these little peanuts. You should make sure to roast them before you feed it, because smaller birds shouldn't eat raw shelled peanuts because they may contain something called aflatoxins. They're like a poison in raw peanuts. So you should bake them for a while. It will kill all the aflatoxins, and then birds will really like to eat it. This I made is a little bird swing. See? If a bird lands here and lands here, it will swing this way. If a bird lands here, it will swing that way. is another bird table. I put some dirt so it looks like a kind of natural ground texture. And then I put some seeds. This I made, which is a rack for my bird feeders. It's made of this thick log. It's hollow, has a hollow spot, so I put another thinner stick inside the hollow spot, which has a Y. I put them on this side, and then I put another one in the Ys. This I made was a cardboard feeder. I put some food in it. This is a bird swing I made out of a large paper tube roll and a short one. I connected string through the hollow part of both, and then I connected those to hang it up. That I made, which is a popsicle stick bird house. I made it out of 6 boards, connected them into that. I'm not sure if they've used it yet, but I hope they do eventually. That is a cardboard box one, which I also made. I put popsicle sticks so they can stand there, and I filled it with some soft grass so they can sleep in it. This is a paper tube roll feeder. They ate most of the stuff off of it, but as you can see, they pecked all of these carefully. So how I made it was I got this paper tube roll. I covered it with peanut butter. Try to get natural peanut butter if you want to make this without salt and as less ingredients as you can. I spreaded peanut butter all over it and then rolled it in bird seeds. And they seem to really like that. As you can see, they ate almost all that, only left a little bit left. And then over here, this is a fancy birdhouse that I made out of another cardboard box. As you can see, if I get it out, it's double layered. I put a cardboard box here so 2 birds can nest in it. One can go in the bottom and one can go in the top. At the back, I also put these little doors if we want to put anything in. And I'll set it back here. I haven't seen any birds go in it, but I sure do hope they do. And over here is another bird feeder I made with a milk carton. This, I cut open this. I only did 3 sides, so it'd be like a shade/umbrella for them if it's raining or if it's really hot. Oh, and it's also very important to put some seeds on the ground. It's important because a lot of birds only eat on the ground. They're not willing to jump up here or eat up there. They're only willing to stay on the floor and eat. Remember to always keep your bird seeds fresh, so they don't get wet or you don't let them rotten because if you let them get wet, they might actually germinate, which means that they're seeds, so they might actually grow. So you don't want that to happen. Make sure you clean your feeders maybe every 2 weeks or something, because like I've done it yesterday on one of the feeders, because sometimes a little bit moisture gets in, and then when it's wet, all the seeds just clump together, and then it's hard for the birds to eat it. But make sure to refill your feeder like with seeds only after the feeder is definitely dry. Yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about for my bird feeding station. I will show you some videos of the birds I have seen. This is a goldfinch. A lot of goldfinches like to eat in my feeder. I've seen a lot of them in the past few weeks That is a goldfinch eating my Niger seeds. And that is a chickadee, a chestnut-back chickadee, which is eating in my lemonade bottle feeder. I made it just like how I made the tomato sauce bottle. As you can see, they have chestnut backs, which give their name. Right behind their head, they have a chestnut colored spot. As you can see, these chickadees are still here even when I'm so close to them. The reason is they're like the birds that usually don't get scared of us. They are like the most brave of all the birds, and they kind of don't really care if we're just standing here. As you can see here, this is a ground feeding bird. It's called a dark-eyed junco. As I said before, some birds only eat on the floor. It's called a dark-eyed junco because it has a dark head and eye. This is a California jay, which is eating bird seeds from my feeder. Every time I see a California jay, they really like to scream and be very loud and call each other before they eat. That is a song sparrow. It's a little brown bird, and right now it's also eating my peanuts. That is also a song sparrow, and it is eating Niger from the goldfinch feeder. This is a housefinch. Housefinches are also very distinctive upon other birds because they have a really bright orange chest and head. That is a California towhee. They're a brown, medium-sized bird. They don't eat elevated, they eat only on the ground, just like the junco. That is a northern mockingbird. I've seen them recently, a few today. It is a big-sized bird. If you have a cat, it is ideal to keep them indoors if you want to set up a bird feeder. This is not our cat, but it is a stray cat that always comes to our area. They come because they like to eat birds. I hope they don't eat mine, but he's drinking water from the bowl. That is the squirrel. Squirrels also eat bird seeds and other bird food. As you can see, this squirrel really wants the bird food up on the pole, and then the food's just too good, so he just has to keep on trying. He climbed up the pole onto the first feeder, the lowest feeder onto the tray feeder. This squirrel really wants to climb up because the peanut feeder is high up, and squirrels really like peanuts, just like the birds. And he's just trying to get the peanuts out of the feeder, but the feeder's not for squirrels, so he can't get it out of those small holes. And finally, he sees the other feeder. He looks and thinks, and he grabs onto it and hangs upside down. That feeder is filled with suet that I made out of peanut butter and bird seeds, and squirrels really like peanuts, so they also like peanut butter. So it's just really cool to watch him just hanging on his hind legs and eating it, and just tries to grab on. He's like a gymnastic person, really flexible and grabbing on. I hope you found this video helpful, and perhaps you can even make your own bird feeder and start bird watching.